Welcome into DC On Screen, your guide to the DC Universe on film and television. I'm your host, David C. Robertson. This is my co-host, Jason Goss.
Hello.
This is episode 284. It is our weekly DCTV news, where we talk DC television news. If that wasn't clear enough. Beware spoilers.
Makes sense to me.
It does. It does to me, I don't know. Yeah, if it's been released through official channels, we are going to discuss it, and sometimes if it hasn't been.
You only say that when there's something pending.
No, not necessarily. No, not that I know of.
Something that's like 85% really probably true.
Nah. But anyway, Lucifer. We actually have some Lucifer news.
Oh,
this
Jesus,
week.
that happens.
It's really Jesus indeed. It's really cool news. I'm really excited about this. It looks like they're going to bring God in.
I saw that.
Is a character that's going to be in a psychiatric ward named God Johnson.
Yep. The literal creator of all creation has the least creative backstory name I've ever actually seen.
I don't know, man. God Johnson made me crack up so hard.
It made me laugh, but it was just come on, man.
Yeah. So apparently,
Philip Ward.
He's gonna take human form. He shows up as God Johnson. He's in a psychiatric ward. Lucifer does not believe that it is God, but he tries to prove him as a phony. But God Johnson seems to know too many things about Lucifer, things that only the real God Almighty would know.
Like his favorite
Lucifer
color.
starts to believe him. And I don't know if, what he would be doing there on Earth, but I'm looking forward to it. They haven't cast anyone, but apparently they have strict specifications for the actor's qualifications, and he should resemble the actor Sam Elliott. Do you know Sam Elliott?
I want to say Tombstone.
He was in Ghost Rider, and he was in The Big Lebowski, and a bunch of westerns, and that's about all I know. Like, he's thin, he's got a big mustache, he wears a big cowboy hat, and he's got big bushy eyebrows.
All right, so I don't know if I'm right about Tombstone, but
you might be. I don't remember.
Still got the
Tombstone
aesthetic
very well.
right.
Yeah. So
right.
I'm excited about that. The big DC Week crossover for CW gave CW its biggest ratings in 6 years.
No kidding.
Most watched week in 6 years. It was up 20% from the time it was last year, from the week this week last year, or that week last year, and 15% in adults 18 to 49, and 16% in adults 18 to 34. So they're gonna do that again.
Oh God, yeah, and they're gonna double down. I mean, really, we're gonna get Supergirl's gonna be fully involved next year.
Mm-hmm.
We still don't know about Legends actually surviving, but even if they don't, they'll probably pull back a lot of people from it.
I would wager, and I don't know for sure. I would wager it being pulled over to Tuesday nights following The Flash. I think it'll gain enough.
Yeah, the lead-in is going to help it a lot. That's kind of the interesting part is it's not like they're going to pull it in for next season that they've already committed to. They're going to pull it in for the latter half of this season that they have already committed to, and they can back out of season 3 if they want to.
Yeah.
So if they get over there after The Flash and the lead-in effect isn't there at all, they're just going to go, oh, yeah, no one wants this show, and it's gone. Mm-hmm. Right now, they're kind of betting that a lot of people just kind of don't know about it. Haven't realized its true potential.
Oh, I've realized its true potential. I just wish they would hit it every once in a while.
Yeah.
Anyway, to Supergirl news. Someone asked Andrew Kreisberg if Power Girl will show up. He says, we haven't discussed introducing Power Girl formally, but I think that certainly after these 3 episodes, there's literally no limit to the things we can do. If you don't know who Power Girl is, she is Supergirl of Earth 2 in the comics, and she used to do the same thing the Earth 1 Supergirl did. She wound up in the Crisis on Infinite Earths being pulled over to Earth 1, grew up, got huge boobs for some reason or another, and became Power Girl.
Yay, artists.
Yay, boob window in the costume.
Right.
That makes people give me bad looks when I'm looking at a comic book.
Right.
So anyway, that's kind of cool. I'd like to see Power Girl. Be kind of fun.
Oh, God, yeah.
Hopefully they won't go the clone route. I didn't like the clone thing in the Justice League cartoon. Justice League Unlimited or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Where they brought in. Yeah. I was like, oh, come on. Do multiverse. Do multiverse. They never did quite get there with that.
There's a lot of people have wanted to avoid it. That's why we like the CW stuff right now so much, is they're embracing time and universes. And I've heard people come back. I've heard people actually say, like, they're getting too timey-wimey.
Oh, that's what I want.
No, it's like, well, it's just so many versions, so many people. Why is there disdain in your voice?
Same time, I've talked to people, like, I start, like, well, okay, they're kind of doing a cool little thing with, like, timelines, and they've also got multiple Earths, and I just watch the life drain out of their eyes. Like, I'm not going to understand this show, am I?
Oh, this is, nope.
I mean, that kind of stuff puts steam in a man's stride as far as I'm concerned. But,
I understand.
EW asked Jeremy Jordan what Winn's reaction to all of the stuff he missed out on the crossover, and Jeremy Jordan said Winn doesn't have a lot of time to be bummed out because of what happens in the episode after that.
Oh shit, yeah.
Yeah, and that episode is going to be 209. Supergirl Lives, I think. So
yeah, Supergirl Lives is definitely next.
That's Kevin Smith's episode.
Yep, coming up.
Yeah. So CWTV.com, they did a thing. It's called the Fan Feast. I didn't get to watch them all. I didn't. Most of it was just them kind of sitting around. Like, it mostly seemed really staged, honestly.
It did. It kind of annoyed me, and I didn't bother with any of it.
Yeah, the DC All Access girl, I can't remember her name, and a bunch of people sitting around talking to the stars on a TV screen. And even the stars seemed kind of bummed out that they were doing it and tried to overcompensate with positivity. I watched the Supergirl one, and I couldn't do the others. But
I
apparently
just didn't even try. You did better than me.
Yeah. Chris Wood said Mon-El is hiding something about his home planet, which we could have already guessed.
Sure.
And Supergirl said, or Melissa Benoist said, Mon-El and Supergirl will be teaming up a lot, which, again, could have already guessed. He's got superpowers, and he's a superhero in the comics.
He's kind of thirsty for her right now.
Yeah. So, they did make...
Also, hiding something, by the way, didn't we already mention the people in the weird half-helmet things? Might be.
Yeah.
Might be Daxamite's coming back to get him.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And, in addition to the Fan Feast, and in conjunction with, they released 4 exclusive clips from the next episodes coming up for Supergirl, Flash, Arrow, and Legends. I only got to see part of the Supergirl one, and it was something that someone had uploaded to YouTube, like a piece of it. And I have the CW app. I could never find it. So I never got to watch those clips. But in the clip for Supergirl, it looks like he's going to be a bartender at that alien bar. Mon-El is.
That makes sense. He did find a home there, and now he's kind of emotionally attached to it after everyone kind of died.
And there was a fun bit where she asked for a club soda, and he hands her the drink, and she drinks it. She's like, what is this? He's like, I don't know what club soda is. But I don't know. I'm sure it'll be fun.
It will. The show's just generally fun now. So.
And I read that was the least spoilery of all the clips, which bums me out because I couldn't find the other clips. But whatever.
I did see the Flash look ahead.
Oh, did you? Was that the one where they were like, where Barry was mad that Wally didn't follow his orders?
Yes.
Okay. Well, then I did see that.
I never looked up its source. I assume that's the one. Like it's the.
Oh, okay.
It's the TV spot that's available right now, and I think that's when they were doing these things. So.
I dug around. I couldn't quite find anything, so I just kind of went, well, I guess I'll have to be a shitty host. I have the app. I wasn't alerted to any of this.
We do that from time to time.
So Grant Gustin on Twitter tweeted out today, I feel like Barry is past due for a new suit.
All right.
I am hoping for a bright red suit. That
was the main, like the promo one-shot poster from preseason.
Yeah. I say let's make this speedster scarlet, man.
Damn straight.
No more burgundy. Let's do this. Let's get real. Let's
get real.
I loved it though.
Whitish.
He says that. He says, I feel like Barry is past due for a new suit. And Twitter user Rhythm with Love wrote, smells that bad, huh? And he replied, yes.
That's entirely fair. Now, this is an upgrade from like season 1 where they used to glue the damn thing to his face.
Mm-hmm. That seemed painful.
That just sounds like
uncomfortable at the least.
Yeah. Like, I'm really proud of Grant Gustin that he actually managed to perform this, even physically.
Yeah.
Like, if he had done a bad job for, the first half of the season, and someone later told me, oh, you realize they had the cowl pretty much, glued to his face, I would have forgiven him for everything that happened.
Yeah. So, we talked about it last week. There were set pictures of a character that I couldn't identify. It was a woman. I think this is who it is. They have said that Gypsy is going to be a character in The Flash. Carlos Valdez says, there's going to be a new visitor to our world named Gypsy. DC Comics fans will be familiar with Gypsy. She is going to be coming in our world, and Vibe will definitely get to learn some new skills as part of getting to know her. So I'm excited to see how that plays out. Already, people are bitching because it's a racist name.
Technically it is, and
it is.
That's why the phrase "getting gypped" is something that's fallen on disfavor. I understand.
Yeah. Well, they didn't change. This is a weird thing. They didn't change it when she came back. When they redid her for 52, they changed her background. Like, she was originally like a metahuman who could just camouflage herself, and make herself invisible. And then in the new 52, they changed it, and she's like from a race of nomads, like an interdimensional tribe. So she's not technically even human anymore, even though she is from Earth. She's from another dimension.
All right, they just that sounds like they just made the idea of gypsies interdimensional.
So, but they still called her Gypsy. I don't know. So
I try. I really do try. It's hard to keep up.
If you guys want to be mad about it, I don't know, go write letters or tweet or something at the Flash writers. Call her Nomad. That would be cool. I like that name.
Nomad would work. Oh, and the funny part is, like, people respond to a massive, like, an influx of, basically people saying, "Hey, we're not digging this because it's either racist or just something we don't agree with or whatever."
Mm-hmm.
This might be one of those unrepresented groups of people who are just kind of really sick of hearing that term. So yeah, but if that represents you and you want to fight back, yeah, go for it. It actually might be worth doing this time. Sometimes it's more or less powerful to do it. This might be one of those.
Yeah. So David M. Jones had a cool idea and wound up making a nice little video on what if Green Arrow and the Flash started out as a live-action TV show in 1966, just like Batman with Adam West. And he did a cool mashup of the opening credits for Arrow, and it was basically they did the Berlanti verse, but in Batman 66 form.
Yeah, like even did they call her Bizarro Supergirl?
I mean, she was in there. I don't remember anyone saying Bizarro Supergirl necessily, but
I don't remember what she was called, but she was even her. She was represented in this thing. It was they pulled some like I think I saw Vertigo in there.
Yeah, I mean I saw Prometheus and Captain Cold and I don't know. I saw Bizarro Supergirl for sure.
They went for it.
Like I saw Heatwave.
They really went for it. It was fantastic.
They did.
And you know my favorite part, and I wouldn't have thought about it, but the guy who did the music for this thing, you heard the little Flash?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They even did like a little like twinges of Supergirl.
Yep. It was...
So, hats off.
It was expertly done.
Hats off.
I kind of, like... When we get to the point with all these shows where they can just admit that we've all, fucking jumped over the shark and thrown it at a refrigerator, I want it to... I would like that episode.
Mm-hmm.
Just absolutely fuck it all and do like a Batman 66 themed episode with the entire universe. Like, that'd be the crossover 3 years from now if all the shows are still on.
And you know what? It's not unprecedented. Scrubs did a whole episode where they were doing a laugh track sitcom.
Oh, yeah. No. They've done musicals.
Yeah.
Maybe the best example of this is, like, what's the first episode you watched of Angel?
Smile Time.
Damn straight.
The puppet episode. Season 5.
It was silly as all balls.
Directed, I believe. Written and directed by Ben Edlund of The Tick.
Yep. Silly as balls.
Fantastic episode. I recommend it to anyone who hasn't even seen anything, because I had never seen any of the Buffyverse. Never had I seen Joss Whedon production. I saw that. I got roped in. I watched the entire thing. Next was Firefly, like Dollhouse. I've been a Whedon Knight ever since.
Yeah. Like, literally, that was 40 minutes of your life. 44 minutes. That cost you something in the area of weeks in pure viewing time. Not to mention reviewing time. The year was 2004.
The year was 2004. DC fans will be able to appreciate it as I had taped Smallville so I could go bowling with my friends. And just kind of hit record on my VCR and ran out the door. And when I came back, I had this wondrous thing called Smile Time.
It was ridiculous. Like, all the... they were Muppets. They were Muppets.
Angel gets turned into a puppet. They're demonic puppets.
Yep.
It is wonderful. Anyway, on to some more Arrow news. Apparently Felicity has got to get into some really morally questionable crap. Wendy Miracle says to TV Line, Felicity has set her sights on Prometheus. This season, we have said we're going to take her to a darker place, and you're seeing the genesis of the reason why right here. Talking about Billy. Felicity is going to meet some people who are both a bit tied to her past, but also very much tied to this new future she's contemplating, and that's going to draw her away from the team and lead her to do some things that are pretty morally questionable. One thing Felicity is not going to do, I can tell you for sure, is blame Oliver.
Yeah.
That sounds pretty cool to me.
It mostly does. The only problem I have with it, and I fault myself, is she killed lots of people. That's a pretty dark place that they didn't deal with for very long. And am I to take it as she's going to pull a Diggle, I'll call it, and say, like, I should have been more aware of the situation. I should have been, taking care of my shit personally, and that's why Billy's gone.
Maybe.
Because
I don't know.
You got to think that's what she's thinking. Is like, well, we knew that he knew who all of us were, and I just let Billy, run out there. And they actually did have stuff in that episode where she kind of is worried about his safety and what he knows and stuff.
Yeah. Absolutely. I don't know. So moving on. Andrew Kreisberg in 2012 said ideally by the last episode of the series, the very last flashback will be Oliver seeing the boat that rescued him in the pilot. That would be awesome, but they're probably not going to just do 5 seasons now.
Come on.
So Mark Guggenheim said, spoiler alert, that's going to end up being the season 5 finale. Is seeing that scene in the flashback of Oliver seeing the ship coming to rescue him, which was the present in the pilot.
Okay, I can deal with that. I thought you were saying they were going to do more flashbacks.
Yeah, no.
No, it's been 5 years. They're called flashbacks. We're done here.
Yeah,
we're done here.
Guggenheim says that is going to be, spoiler alert, that is going to end up being the season 5 finale. He says it was really just a hope at that point in 2012 that the show would run 5 years. And we always thought that we would intercut the final moment of the series with the first moment of the series, that it would form one big Mobius strip. There's still a part of me that wishes we could do that, but I wouldn't want to artificially extend the flashbacks beyond 5 seasons, and I also wouldn't want to artificially cut the show short. It would have been a beautifully elegant thing, and 5 years ago me would have loved it, but things change, and I do think it'll make the season 5 finale pretty awesome.
Okay, ending season 5, like, literally if the last shot we see is a regurgitation of him trying to get off that island, like flaming arrow and everything, fantastic. That's not how Mobius strips work.
I know, that's what I was thinking. But
that's my only problem with what he said.
Yeah, I thought that too. I was like, maybe I don't understand Mobius strips. But anyway, he also goes on to say, look, we have some incredibly clear plans for what we want to do in the season 5 finale. At the same time, we always leave ourselves room to be like, and throw this cliffhanger in, throw that twist in. Usually the craziest ideas on the show tend to be the ones that the ideas sort of linger, and we never really quite set on them. Like, oh, maybe we'll kill off Tommy. We don't fully commit until we're pretty much breaking the episode.
Yeah, that happens. That's how these things happen. Really is.
Yeah. So, concept artist or illustrator, whichever one you prefer. Andy Poon, we've talked about him before. He's awesome. He does the costume illustrations, the concept illustrations for the character the characters on the DCTV shows on the CW. He's released one for Vigilante and one for Commander Steel on Legends of Tommorrow. It looks pretty sweet. They're pretty on point, pretty close to what wound up being on the show. Andy Poon Design, one word on Instagram to follow him, is a delight. I love checking my Instagram and finding new stuff with him. On to Legends of Tommorrow, though. Apparently at some point we're going to meet George Lucas, since Rip is a director in 1967.
Why the hell not?
Katie Lotz says that they're going to be visiting Rip soon, and they're also going to meet George Lucas. I read it, and I kind of rolled my eyes, because I'm like, let me guess. They inspire Star Wars.
I mean, God, it's one of my dollar bets. Jesus.
Yeah.
That just seems so disturbingly likely.
Yeah. So they did release, Nick Zano released on his Instagram behind the scene pictures of what looks like the Camelot 3000 episode of Legends of Tommorrow. It shows Steel and Rey in old-timey swashbuckling outfit and knight armor, respectively, bloodied and surrounded by medieval-looking foes. So that looks pretty cool. They all have swords.
Cool.
It's captioned Snow, Rain, Mud, and Stunts. There's evidently going to be a Trollhunter Easter Egg in Legends of Tommorrow. Trollhunter is an animated DreamWorks series that's going to drop on Netflix that Mark Guggenheim has been working on. It's about to drop December 23rd, actually. It says episode 211 of Legends, if everything goes according to plan, will feature a little bit of a Trollhunter's Easter egg, and actually Arrow Season 4 included a Trollhunter's Easter egg. There's something interesting about writing an Easter egg for a show that nobody's seen yet into your existing show, but I guess I'm just unusual that way. Of course, by the time Legends airs its 11th episode of the season, audiences will have had an opportunity to see Trollhunters, which debuts on Netflix in 2 weeks. Of course, without having yet seen Trollhunters, it's impossible to know just what Guggenheim might have planned on Arrow next year, they say. I think this was comicbook.com. But yeah, apparently there was something in Season 4 about it. Trollhunter centers on a young man who's forced to take up the mantle of Trollhunter, the person responsible for ensuring the balance of power between humanity and trolls remain intact after his predecessor is killed and the Trollhunter amulet falls to him. It stars Anton Yelchin, so I guess you're going to do some recasting in Season 2. Mm-hmm. Charlie Saxton, Kelsey Grammer, Ron Perlman, and Stephen Yun.
Jeez.
Yeah.
It's a cast.
It's got some pedigree. Yeah. It looks, I mean, it's not my kind of thing, but the cast is pretty dope,
That's
man.
dope,
I mean,
yeah. I have no idea what they were talking about, but that is the kind of thing that I would think would be hilarious. Like, if I knew I had a show that was coming up in 2 years, I would totally insert it into a show that was already around.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
It would just amuse me.
I've done it on our videos on YouTube.
Yeah, you have.
On our little comedy sketches. I've got like little nods to our improv web series, Hey Guy.
Yeah.
In different things. Anyway, so Elyse Levesque,
a name that we inevitably got wrong.
Yeah, probably, is going to be guest starring on Legends of Tommorrow. She is known for her roles in the originals and Stargate universe. She will be playing Queen Guinevere, the Arthurian character, which I'm assuming is going to be on Camelot 3000.
It's a great guess.
Yeah. Victor Garber is talking a bunch about Legends of Tommorrow and getting a little hoity, I think, but we'll talk about that.
Is he also getting toity?
Yeah, hoity and toity.
Oh, okay.
Some days he's just hoity, some days he's toity, and then he gets hoity-toity. I just can't deal with that. But no, he's talking about Stein and his new daughter. And he says there's a lot more that happens for Stein where everything is challenged. That's the reason I can do this, is because it offers me a chance as an actor to explore so many new things. And talks about how they're still going to have room for the Jax humor. And I didn't think Jax was really funny to begin with, but whatever, guy. He says, I love that aspect of the character, and I think they're writing to my strengths. That's what I've always done. I'm looking for the reality, but the humor in any situation as a character, and I think that's essential for me as a character and for the audience too, to relate to me. I sometimes throw in things that I think make it even more funny or lighter. You start somewhere, and then you hope that you can just expand and become more comprehensive and more interesting. This season, I think the scripts do that, and I think that we as actors are more comfortable in the roles. That's the hope for any show, really, and I think that we're fulfilling that.
He does amuse me from time to time. Jax does too.
He acts like he's...
They're not exactly like an Abbott and Costello happening here.
Yeah. But anyway, he did talk a little bit about the musical episode, and he says he thinks we'll see something manifest in the coming year in regards to him winding up on Supergirl and the big Supergirl and Flash crossover musical.
Good.
He also mentioned that someone asked him if he wanted to see Stein on board the Titanic, because Victor Garber played a character in James Cameron's Titanic. I think his name was Thomas Andrews in that movie. And Garber said, "No, not at all. Write me off of the Titanic. I've been there. I don't want to go back. I think that's a sacred territory. I don't think it would be wise to go there." Why is it sacred territory? Because you've been in the Titanic movie that you feel is sacred territory, or that suddenly you decided that it's not okay to do the Titanic on a sci-fi show, or that you decided it's not good suddenly to do Titanic, period, and that maybe it was a mistake that you did it back then? That's what I'm curious about, because he seems very rigid about it.
No, I want to bet that it's... I want to say it's that it was a thing he was involved in that made a shit ton of money and was critically well received, so just fuck it, I'm out. Done.
Mm-hmm. Or maybe he just knows that Guggenheim wouldn't be able to stop himself. Like, if they did a Titanic episode, they'd be like, and here's the part where we have to mention that Stein looks like this Thomas Andrews guy.
That would work, too. I would be happy with him where if he said, like, look, Doctor Who's even approached that, no, screw it.
Yeah.
Walk away.
Yeah. So, interesting stuff going on with the Ray and the Freedom Fighters and Vixen. Guggenheim, they haven't announced anything officially, but Guggenheim says, "We just finished the outline for Freedom Fighters, the Ray. I've got my writing staff assembled. We're all working on it. I'm actually really excited about it. Not just because the project's cool, but because basically we're going about writing it a different way than we did Vixen. Thank God.
That'll be good.
It's a bit more ambitious. It ties into an announcement that's going to be made about Vixen pretty soon. So expect a Vixen announcement that I think is very, very cool, and we're moving forward on the Ray."
That's where I get confused.
Does that sound like there's going to be a live-action Vixen show to you?
And it does, just because he's so excited, but it doesn't make sense to like start a Vixen show on a CW Seed show that was only... I'm not sure it like broke the charts for internet usage, and you've got a Legends show that was your third spinoff that you're worried about right now. Like, you're moving its time frame to do a lead-in from like your most popular show. I just don't know if live action Vixen is something that's in the cards right now.
If I were them, and I'm not, so what do I know? If I were them, I would do like a miniseries, like a live action miniseries, and see where that went.
As a mid-season replacement, and CW has a huge slate of mid-season replacements. Yeah, that could totally work.
Also, for our sanity, I ask, mid-season replacement, please.
There are so many shows.
Speaking of which, Powerless has a debut Thursday, February 2nd at 8:30 p.m. And they've changed the premise. Did you hear about that?
No, shoot.
Yeah, it is no longer at the world's worst insurance company. Here's the new synopsis. So I'm guessing, by the way, that means the pilot will not be aired.
Could be still. Depends on what they decide to do with everything after it.
Well, in a world where humanity must cope with the collateral damage of superheroes and supervillains, Emily Locke, Vanessa Hudgens, begins her first day as Director of Research and Development for Wayne Security, a subsidiary of Wayne Enterprises that specializes in products that make defenseless bystanders feel a little safer. Full of confidence and big ideas, Emily quickly learns that her expectations far exceed those of her new boss, Alan Tudyk, and office mates. So it will be up to her to lead the team toward their full potential and the realization that you don't need superpowers to be a hero. So yeah, it looks like they've completely scrapped the insurance company.
Yep, that sounds scrapped.
And
you
now
can
it
still
is
keep the scene of Crimson Fox catching the a subway train or you can still keep certain scenes out of that trailer, but oh my god, yeah, they might have just redone the entire thing.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if I care about this. I didn't really care about it too much before, except for Danny Pudi and Alan Tudyk,
yeah.
And the huge change makes me feel like it was there were real issues with it.
It might have been,
or maybe they just realized they didn't have enough to go on with an insurance company,
right?
So that's going to be a half-hour comedy that we'll get in February, and I'm not sure. I think we will review the pilot, and then we'll probably do a season review because it's a 30-minute show.
Yeah.
We do 15-20-minute reviews on most of our hour-long shows. So it might not be worth it to do a podcast about Powerless every week.
No, we do 30-minute reviews on a lot of them.
Yeah.
There's a lot of it. Now, and the pilot makes a ton of sense to, just pipe in on. And then after that, it is a mid-season bit right now, so.
Mm-hmm. We'll see what's going to happen with it, though. Justice League action clips have been released.
More of them.
Yeah, more of them. Some of them just extensions of some stuff we've seen. We got to see Swamp Thing fight Solomon Grundy.
That was cool.
And then Batman and Zatanna fight Solomon Grundy in Zombies.
Mm-hmm.
And that was awesome. Mm-hmm. We got to see Mongol kidnap the Joker. And as he's beaming him up in his little beam, Joker's like, good thing I decided not to wear a skirt today.
Right.
And I enjoyed the hell out of Hamill. I always enjoy the hell out of Hamill's Joker. He's Mongol basically tells him you have to make all these warriors laugh or whatever. And he's telling him, he's like, why do aliens not eat clowns? Because they taste funny.
Right.
And, more from the Kronos Batman and Blue Beetle in the past episode. Looks like a fun show all around. I'm down for it. I can't say that enough.
I'm going to enjoy the shit out of it. There's Kronos, Blue Beetle, and Batman in a scene. Of course, I'm going to want to watch that. Someone just pitched me hey, in the first few episodes, Swamp Thing battles Solomon Grundy. Okay, fuck. Goddamn, where do I sign?
Mm-hmm. And I think my favorite of the 3 clips, my favorite thing out of any of them, was this great bit where Batman, he watches Joker get abducted by Mongol, and he alerts the Justice League, and it's, it's Superman and Wonder Woman are standing there. And he's the Joker's just been abducted by an alien, and we think it's Mongol, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, oh, yeah, okay, well, sounds like justice served to me. And there's just a great bit where she says that. Superman just looks at her like, are you serious? You ass. He just, Superman is just, beside himself for just a second and annoyed with Wonder Woman for being yeah, okay, I mean, why are we worried about this?
Right.
That's a good thing. Oh, no, they took Joker off our hands.
Yeah.
Justice served.
Oh, my. I guess we should rush to rescue. I think later she calls him a buffoon of some kind. I can't remember.
Yeah. I'm going to have fun with this show, man.
It is. Yeah. It's going to be a lot of fun.
I do. I always love those little bits where Superman just looks at his teammates I am surrounded by horrible people. I don't... Anyway, that is all I have. That is all I've got on news. And we don't have any shows this week, so the next time you hear from us, it'll be about news.
The newses. Yeah.
The newses. We love you guys. Thank you so much for listening. We are DC On Screen. You can find every episode DCOnScreen.com, iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play. We're on Twitter, Facebook, Vero, Instagram, everywhere. Just go talk to us and follow us and be our friend because we're so lonely.
It is.
Proud
it's
members of the Giant
Size
Size Team Up Network.
As disembodied voices. Someone might recast us as a villain.
Anyway. Yeah. Proud members of the Giant Size Team Up Network. GiantSizeTeamUp.com. Proud members of the Batman Podcast Network. It's late, and I'm tired. I'm sorry. But until next time, keep some DC on your screen.